post Irma, as we drive around, we start to notice that the island is achieving some sort of normalcy. I think the population somehow is starting to believe that we are overcoming Irma as we have done many of the other hurricanes, the last being, I think, Gonzalo. The reality is that I don't think the people grasp the concept that as long as those major hotels do not come back online, the real sustainability of the island will not take place. I'm one that I've always written about this and spoken about this, but the reality is that most of our St. Martiners, they work for either government or government-owned companies. Thankfully, so far, government has been able to pay their salaries, and so has the government-owned companies. But there is a huge amount of people also working in the private sector that we are not maybe hearing the cries as yet, but these people need to get back to jobs. It is only so far that we'll be able to go on with this training, program to basically subsidize many of these employees. So my question to the Minister of Finance is, has the Minister of Finance or the COM actually sat down as yet with the Maho Group and also the Sunwing Group? I was very happy to hear the Minister point out that the Maho Group is totally separate from the Sunwing Group. As we can see, recently we had the whole video of a whole series of Chinese employees that are already rebuilding at Maho. So clearly Maho has not demolished, and clearly, there was even recently a press release that they're rebuilding with hurricane-resistant material this time. So it seems as if they're in the process of rebuilding. Will they surely want concessions? I am pretty sure. Anyone that reinvests would like to have those concessions. My concern really, as my colleague MP Helliger pointed out, is that every day you pass the former Great Bay Hotel, now it's basically a beach again. So they're in the process of making the last cleanup. If you look at the press releases and you do some research on Sunwing, this is a $1 billion company. So they can surely sit on that land for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. They can definitely wait until we are finished dealing with the World Bank. And then when the Dutch says that money is no longer available, then we can still find ourselves without a hotel there. I also know many of those former employees from Great Bay Hotel, and many of them do reach out to me and complain and really want to know when they will be able to get back into their job. So I definitely see Sunwing as a different opportunity for the island. I think we have not had a hotel of that caliber for very long on the island. Having worked in the tourism industry in Aruba, it's quite refreshing to see that there's even that interest. I do believe it affords the government the opportunity to really sit down with an investor and make a win-win situation for the island, the people, and the investor. Another question that I would like to ask Minister is, has your ministry, these requests came in, even when the former Minister of Finance was there. Has the ministry attempted to put a financial value to all of these, requests from both parties?
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGE.
Tell them, connecting you.
The University of Curaçao, it's a pleasure to be here again by offering this law program. And we want to thank USM and want to thank the government of St. Martin of the trust they have put over the years in our university and the willingness to cooperate for us to offer the law program here in St. Martin. We definitely believe as University of Curaçao in partnerships because we are all small universities, so we believe that working together, having partnership with our own university helps us to create capacity in our countries. So in that endeavor, we are eager to start with this program, and we firmly believe that this is one. We did, in the past, we had the Bachelor in Administration and Bachelor in Accounting, and now with the law program, and I'm sure that in the future we will continue to offering these programs to St. Martin and other countries in the Caribbean, because together we are strong. Separately, we are very weak. So thank you very much, the government of St. Martin. Thank you very much, USM. We are on board, so let's start doing things together, continue doing things together to enhance our capacity in our own countries.
We have a long tradition of law school in Curaçao. We are even older than the university. We're 45 years old. And the program we'll be offering here is exactly the program we'll be offering in Curaçao, which means that the program here is accredited by NVAO, the Nederlands-Vlaamse accreditatieorganisatie. Of course, the program will be in Dutch because the legal language is still Dutch, with some courses, of course, in English. International law courses, for instance. We have already many enthusiastic prospective students in pre-registration. Over 25 have pre-registered. And they and anyone else who is interested and fulfills the criteria can register next Friday. We'll be sending out the information to the press and to anyone interested tomorrow. It is an academic study, so WO-niveau, as it's called in Dutch, wetenschappelijk onderwijs. Therefore, VWO-diploma or HBO or first 2 years of HBO or anything equal will let you into the program. And for some people, there is the option for the so-called colloquium doctorexam. If you're over 23, we already know about 5 people who will want to do that. Without those prerequisites, but who can prove through that exam that they have the right level of starting knowledge. The form we'll be teaching is blended learning. So that means that via streaming and interactive streaming, basically when I'm teaching, I'll have 2 classrooms. The one physically in front of me and the other one on the other island. Some classes, as for all part-time students, also in Curaçao, will be taped because we cannot put everything in the evening hours because that would be way too much. And several occasions, our professors will be flying in to do some more personal teaching, for instance, working groups and working with assignments for the students. Interestingly, we have more than just a law program in Curaçao. We offer symposia, special courses for people who work in a specific branch, post-academic courses, and public lectures.
I really like to take this time to congratulate everyone that played a part into the realization of this dream that really started, a while back. This had to start since last year, but Irma came, and we know what happened next. And so this is just the beginning of new things. We have now the law program, and then soon we'll have the pre-law program starting during the next semester. So we look forward to all the new things that are going to take place here at the USM.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for? I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices, the Windward Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Tell them, connecting you.
Good example is the conflict between the PSVE teachers and the FAVE school board. This is strictly a matter between the school board and the teachers. The minister has no legal or authoritative powers as far as this matter is concerned. In other words, the minister cannot send home the school board or the principal. Neither can the minister fire the current teachers and hire new teachers. However, what the minister can do, and is attempting to do in this case, is to mediate. Given his office and the neutrality of the office, that's what he will do, mediate. What you hear in the public is, very often, the government should stop the subsidy. Stopping a school subsidy is a very far-reaching measure that requires in-depth research in the financial, administrative, educational, and legal consequences. A simple matter to give thought to would be, where will those hundreds of students continue their education when a school is forced to close because government stopped financing the school? What happens to the teachers? They have mouths to feed, families to feed, they have mortgages and so on. So government just can't get up and stop the subsidy to a school. To come back to the law or the decree on the funding of schools, the Council of Ministers has approved the draft, approved it yesterday, and will be sending it to the Council of Advice for further review. The law on school funding prescribes that school boards annually get a lump sum and that they are required to spend it according to the criteria that are laid down in the law. At the end of the school year, the school boards then submit a financial report to the ministry outlining how they spent the money. If the money is accounted for, then subsidy is granted for another year. If the monies cannot be accounted for, then the ministry would work with the school boards to resolve the problem. Withholding subsidy would be the very, 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 very last resort. Just to give you an idea of the subsidy that's granted to school boards, here are some figures. There are in total 8 private school boards that are subsidized by government. The lowest amount of subsidy granted to a school board last school year was $1,865,426 guilders and 43 cents. The highest amount of subsidy granted to a school board was $18,311,120 guilders and 56 cents. Now, last school year, 2017-2018, the 8 school boards received a total of $72,114,029 guilders and 4 cents. Now, it's interesting to take this amount, $72,114,029 guilders and 4 cents, and divide it among the total number of students that these school boards provide education for, which is 6,324 students. When we divide the 72 million plus amongst the 6,324 students, we get an amount of 11,403 guilders and 23 cents per student. That's the average amount that government is paying annually for a primary school student or a secondary school student to be educated. That's a lot of money. It's nearly as much as the government pays for study financing for a student to follow tertiary education at USM. Government spends a lot of money on education, and therefore government needs to see the return of its investment in education. But that will be a topic for another time.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
1,
2,
3,
4. This is how common it is to develop a mental illness. 1 out of every 4.
4.
4.
4. But there is hope. Today, most mental illnesses can be managed and treated. Visit your general doctor if you feel concerned about your thoughts and behaviors or have some difficulty dealing with some of life's issues.
If you have been diagnosed and are suffering from a mental illness, keep in mind these 4 points to help you manage your mental health.
1. Get regular checkups with your general doctor.
2. Stay on your treatment plan to prevent relapses.
3. Find a strong support group in your family and friends.
And 4. Never be afraid to ask for help and look out for the warning signs of your illness.
Remember, you are not alone. We are as close as one.
2.
3.
4.
Learn about mental health illness by going to the Mental Health Foundation's website at www.mhf-sxm.com.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Stephanie Medina and I play football with the Walichi Women's Soccer team. I have represented St. Martin in many different games. For example, the Dutch Caribbean Women's Soccer Cup. I played against Bonaire, Aruba, and Curacao right here in this stadium. Sports matter to me because it makes me happy, it keeps me fit and healthy, and it is very fun. So I asked the business community to take on this challenge and help us rebuild our facilities. And I also asked the community to nominate the local businesses in your area and take on the challenge and step up for sport. Why? Because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sport Facebook page for more information. Hashtag sports matter, hashtag are you in?
Bus Association, they sent a request to your office for a meeting. They said they haven't received any answer as yet. Is there any plans to meet with the association, and also what are some of the plans you have for transportation?
Well, thank you, of course, Andrew, for your question once again. And indeed, my schedule is full. As you saw from the first week of taking the oath of office, it has been a packed agenda, meeting with stakeholders, ensuring that the people of St. Martin finally see that the Ministry of TIAT is going to continue to reach out and promote St. Martin, not only internationally or regionally, but more so to beef up the destination in terms of the cleanliness, to make sure there's hospitality components, make sure the airport is ready, make sure the harbor is ready. There's many facets within the Ministry of TIAP that has to be addressed. And one of those, indeed, is the transportation aspect of the ministry. I do intend within short to schedule that meeting. So administratively, as you know, there's been other meetings that even, as you asked with regarding parliamentary meetings, that superseded certain priorities. So indeed, the ministry has a long list of priorities and it will be dealt with accordingly. So going forward, the vision of transportation would be put forward and it would be put forward to the public at large. So thank you.
We have a preparation plan. The plan for NAMPAC, as you know, the plan of approach, which deals with the short-term, mid-term, and long-term challenges as well as solutions for the prison. And we are busy with that. As far as being prepared, we are prepared. There's work that still needs to get done. That's being done. And we'll be ready by the end of the year when they're scheduled to come back.
This meeting was called for, has to do with what was the role of the central bank in the aftermath of Irma, what did they contribute to the support of country St. Martin in the aftermath. The central bank will give a presentation to that effect, in which they will explain what they did. Maybe it's a good thing to also mention that the central role of the central bank is a supervisory role on the local bank institutions, the financial sector, and also the insurance branch. So I don't know what people would like to perceive out of the meeting, but just to have mentioned that the role is specifically the supervision. I can also inform you that as the Minister of Finance, I've been in contact back and forth with the central bank to look at possibilities to have additional funding to jumpstart our economy. It is a tedious road to travel because any move that you make towards the central bank and towards additional funding, you also have to include the advices of the CFT. But we are on that track, separate from funding through the World Bank. The Ministry of Finance is seeking funding to jumpstart the economy.